Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to another day. Today we have containers, DoorDasher's Demise. Today's video is from David Ackerman and Hacking Hijab. So today's story is very interesting. There is this application called DoorDasher that a lot of employees from TBFC team use to deliver food. And Hopsec has discovered this, and they have hacked into the site, rebranding it as Hopperoo, and all the food is different. So the TBFC team doesn't like this. So today's objective, we will go through Docker and containers, exploring Docker runtimes and common container escape -privilege escalation vectors. So we will escape the container, escalate privilege, and restore the DoorDasher services. And we can't order the Santa beard pasta. Oh no. Okay, this means something. This is fun. So yes, I'll start the machine. We have two today. They suggest that we click the full screen and see the machine for the DoorDash company on an individual screen, because if we are always changing tabs, they say that the machine can shut down. Yeah, so let's click this and let's go over it. Yeah, so if you haven't ever worked with container, they explain what are the problems that arise and how containers can solve this. And they are mainly related to how modern applications work. So installation can be a headache. Some applications, for example, an XJS application needs to install a billion tools to run it, or you can have other programming languages like Go, even other frameworks like SvelteKit, etc., that have their own quirks. So this can create a configuration hell. We also have troubleshooting. It's important to know when an application stops working, and if the problem is from the application itself or the environment it can be a headache again. And there is conflicts. So multiple versions of an application need to be run sometimes, or sometimes multiple applications need different versions of Python to be installed, and this can lead again to a headache. So you have three huge headaches. And if you read this and you thought isolation, so running each application on an isolated environment, this is how containers come in. Containers do exactly that. And they use this great example. They compare containers to VMs, virtual machines, which is exactly what we are doing. Virtual machines normally are an isolated OS, so operating system, exactly. For example, Linux that you can run, and it can run a lot of different applications. For example, Firefox, Sublime Text. It has folders. You can navigate the OS, while containers normally have the OS of the parent, but they are meant to run an application, a single application. So they aren't meant to have a fully working OS. This leads into how applications scale in today's world, and microservices is a big word. So instead of having everything on the same database, on the same server, you have little applications. So a server, a database, a front end, that all run in isolation and communicate with each other. And as you can see, containers are a big help in this. But yeah, don't forget to read this, because as you can see by these videos, I know a little bit, and the people that do this are really great at explaining, and they have a gazillion knowledge. So yeah, so it's always good to review the text if you want to know more about this, of course. And then Docker comes in. Docker is an open source platform for developers to build, deploy, and manage those containers. I think it was developed by Google. I'm gonna double check that. So I was confusing things. It's not Docker, it's Kubernetes, which shares some, not similarities, it's not what I want to say, but domain. It's all about containerization. Yeah, so Docker was created by someone else entirely different. So yeah, so what we want is escape, attack, and sockets. So what is escaping a container? It's a magic trick. No, I'm joking. So when we escape the container, what we mean by this is we are escaping the OS where the container is running, or the best word will probably be the host kernel, so the machine where the container is running. So you exit the container and you can get access to the machine where that container is running. Yeah, they explain this a lot, and let's go into the challenge. Let's see. We need to investigate the container and restore the defaced Hopperoo website to the DoorDasher. So yeah, so here we can run docker ps to get a list of services that are running. So we have a Python app, uptime checker, and Wareville times. Yeah, and the Dasher app is here. It's a Python app. It's running on this port. So yeah, so they explain here where the main service runs. I guess we can access it from our machine. Let's first see the questions to see if we have. Yeah, so we already know this. And here it is, the defaced website. So the Santa's beard pasta is just hair. Okay, the comments are quite funny if you want to read about it. So yeah, so let's see what is going on. So yeah, so they want us to explore the uptime checker, and we can run this command. So this is the command, and nothing happened. Or we are inside. Yeah, okay, so we are inside. So they want us to run lsla. So we see this. If you run the command on the machine, you see this. And they explain that the socket that we see provides a means to access containers via the API. And they say that by running docker ps, we can see that we can perform Docker commands and interact with the API, which means we can perform a Docker escape attack. Okay, so we got access to the deployer. We know it's a privilege container, so maybe we can get access to it. So they tell us to run who am I? You're the deployer. Okay, so the answer to this, it's Dockerfile, so you can search for it. It's the file that contains instructions for building a Docker image. So you don't need to know everything that they ask here. Of course, you can search. The objective of this is for you to learn new things, new fields. So yeah, so don't be afraid to search if it's things like this. So if you need to use your brain to discover something, maybe it's better to try and do it first. And if you are stuck, it's always good to, for example, see a video and try to understand it and then do it yourself. Yeah, so now they tell us to run the recovery script. Yeah, so as we saw, we could run Docker commands inside the container. So that meant that we could change to a container which has access to the machine. And that way we can restore the website. So run the website restore. So as you can see, it's restored. Voila! So you need to get back to the previous folder with cd double dot, and then you can ls and find the flag there, and then you only need to cat the flag. And voila, they explain it here how you can get the flag. And yeah, so there's also a Easter egg here, haha, you got it. And they say that we have another thing running here. Okay, it was easier than I expected. I was like, is this really it? And yeah, it's only the red words. Don't forget the exclamation mark. That was fun. They left this little Easter egg. Containers are really good for different use cases, especially if you are a web developer or a programmer that can need this kind of knowledge. So yeah, hope you like this. Don't forget to make your container safe, and I'll see you in the next dimension.